that's beauty in the world? What do you see on commercials? What do you see on the fashion shows? What do you see in entertainment? You see women made up. Lipstick, eyeshadow, blush, weave, accessories, long fingernails, fake. You have plastic surgery. You can get anything you want to print yourself as fashion model, Barbie doll. That's how the world presents itself as beauty for a woman. So you are mentally trained, this is beauty. You're not trained that beauty is the way Yah made you. When Yah created a woman, he didn't create us with makeup on. He didn't create us with weave in our hair. So you're really spitting in Yah's face to say, the way you made me is not beautiful. I need to put on makeup and earrings and doll myself up to be beautiful.
So why was it so, I mean, I hear what you're saying, yes, but why was it so hard for you? I know because of what you taught, yes, but why was it so, I mean, I'm a man, so I'm trying to, I'm trying to get into your world, you know, so why was it so hard? Was it just because you were taught that?
I think so, because some women don't wear makeup. It's not an issue. In this ministry, women would tell you, I didn't wear makeup anyway. But for me, I did.
Okay.
That's how I was.
How did you feel when you didn't have makeup on?
I didn't feel beautiful.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I had to transition into accepting who Yah made me to be, because I had worn makeup for so long.
So when you came into, because you said you were married for 18 years, so I'm sure you were wearing makeup. Yes, so when you came here for Passover, your first Passover, did you come with the head cover, no makeup?
I respected the land.
Oh, so you came no makeup?
I did.
Okay, wow.
I wanted to, yes, sir. I wanted to respect the rules here. So I did cover my hair. Yes, sir.
How did that make you feel? I mean, you know.
Well, I fit right in.
Okay.
So I didn't feel awkward at all. I felt comfortable.
Now when you left, did you put the makeup back? Okay.
But my husband said eventually, he wanted to wean me off. He knew it was a hard process for me. So he worked with me. Okay. But eventually he told me, I want you to stop taking it off. And then he started teaching me why, not just stop doing it. Yeah. I needed to understand biblically why, because I had been abused with the Bible before. So for me, I needed to understand, and you had to prove to me that this is what the Bible said. Because I realized in Christianity, I just listened. And then I come to find out that what I was following wasn't truth. So now I was in the mindset, if you tell me I can't do something, then I need you to show me biblically why I can't do it. And then once you do that, it was easier for me to embrace it.
How was that transition? What did people think when you went from hair, makeup, and then boom, now you're starting to do head cover? And
automatically they assume Muslim. Yes, sir. So they would ask, some would ask, well, why are you doing this? Why do you cover? And I would explain biblically why I covered. And then they said, well, what are you? That was the next question. And I would explain, but majority of them only knew Christianity. So they couldn't relate. What is a Hebrew Israelite? And I would just break it down. We obey the commandments. We eat clean foods. We celebrate the feast days and not the traditional holidays. So I would just break it down. And I said, you're welcome to ask any questions. And, you know, I'm not offended by your questions, because I understood that in the professional setting, they saw this transition. And so I expected the questions. So it didn't bother me at all. And I was excited to actually teach. Yes.
So what about the children that, you know, you had one children, they grew up like,
the children didn't really mind that much. And they would ask, do you have hair? You know, little things that children ask, but they were more accepting than the adults were. And I explained why, and I was like, okay, we're fine with it. And it was really not a big deal for the children.
So you went, so people had questions. How about parents? So, you know, how did they react?
There were not a lot of parents that asked questions. I know they wanted to, but they didn't want to be offensive. So I didn't really have a lot of questions from parents. I had one family that were commandment keepers.
Oh, okay.
And so they asked questions, and they were very excited to have me as their son's teacher because they were eating clean foods. And then I had another family that didn't celebrate the holidays. And the mother was so excited because she felt like her child would be more accepted because I tried to accommodate all. And so I would do things that she could participate in. So there were some positives, you know, with the parents, but I never got any negative comments or anything from the parents.
Now, I'm a father of 8 children, right? And so even when when you go into to children's parents conference stuff, because I have so many children, I would meet with some of the parents again for the next child, stuff. So did you ever had situations where a parent saw you one way and then boom, you're this way, and they didn't? I would say, hey, what's going on here?
No, they really didn't.
Okay.
They were very accepting, and I never had problems with the parents.
So with the colleagues,
The colleagues, yes.
Okay.
They had a lot of questions, and some would get offended when it came to the holidays, especially Christmas.
Okay.
And they thought I didn't believe in Jesus.
Mm.
And I had to explain, I do believe in Jesus. I call him Yeshua.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in obeying the commandments and the laws and the statutes. And so I just had to sit down with some of the colleagues and explain to them. And they were respectful. And but I knew that they didn't like it. And so I would just say, please respect my wishes. I don't celebrate the holidays. Please don't give me gifts and things like that. There were colleagues that they didn't say a lot, but you could tell by the way they interacted with you, they were more standoffish. Mm-hmm. So I did get that, but that didn't really bother me. Mm-hmm. I stood my ground on what I believe. And I said, if you're interested, and I would try to share as much as possible, but then you would offend people because they didn't believe the same way you believe. And they felt that you were coming off on them and Christian bashing. Mm-hmm. And so I just got a lot of negative vibes, I would say, more from the colleagues than the children. And
so you being an educator, right?
Yes,
people would tell you that being a part of this ministry, just the stuff that you hear it's a cult. They're brainwashed. You're an educator. How do you? Did you even know coming into Straightway that they were known for being a cult and some of the thing, or did you just come in?
I didn't know it at first.
Okay, so when you came here and visited, you didn't know some of the rumors or what things.
I did not.
Okay, when did you start hearing about those things?
When I became a part of the ministry.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So how did you react when you start hearing about it, being a part of the ministry?
It didn't bother me because I already had accepted Straightway for truth.
Okay.
So it didn't matter what the world thought because I knew what the Bible stated.
Okay.
And I was convinced based on the word.
Okay.
So it didn't matter at that point because I...
Now, you were telling me when we were off camera a little bit, you were talking about when you first came here into the woods. You almost had a panic attack. Please.
Yes, sir. So it was my first time. I only knew of Straightway through YouTube. So coming here initially, it was a shock. I was coming to the woods and I had a panic attack. I had never seen people live this way on a community. I didn't know anything about communities. I knew about the Amish and the Mormon, but that's it. I had never seen people living together in a community before. So it was just the unknown that I was afraid of. But once I got here and I met everyone and everybody was so nice and friendly and there was such peace and joy that I became very comfortable.
Now, how long have you been a part of this ministry?
A year now.
A year now.
Yes.
And so you've been how many visits have you been here?
Oh, wow. Let's see. 2 tabernacles, 2 Passovers, and 2 gods.
Okay, so that's for 6 times you've been here, right?
More than that because I came on days that weren't the feast days also. So
you even came more than 6 times that you've been up here and everything. And do you still feel good about this ministry?
It's the best thing ever. It's priceless.
Priceless.
Because you're with believers who are set apart. Mm-hmm. You are with believers that are commandment keepers. Mm-hmm. You're with people who believe the Bible and follow it the way it's supposed to be followed. Righteous.
Mm-hmm. And you did not experience that in Christianity. Absolutely. So now that now this is my $1 million question that I ask all the sisters. What they talk about polygyny. How do you feel about the whole polygyny topic?
Yes, sir. Initially, I was not accepting of it because I had been raised 1 man, 1 woman. And so once again, like I said, coming out of Christianity, you had to prove to me that this is biblical. And once I saw that, I said, okay, I could accept it as being truth, but I didn't necessarily know if it was something I wanted to do. So I had to embrace that. Yes, I had to embrace that. I will be honest, that took some transition for me, because 40 something years of your life you've been taught one way. So you had to unlearn all the junk and the untruth and accept the Bible for what it says. There's no denying. There's no law that says it's a sin. There's nowhere in that Bible that you can say it's a sin.
So if your husband wanted to take on a second wife, how, are you like mentally ready? I just want to know, just be real. Okay,
Yeah, it took me some time. We talked about it and we prayed about it, and I had to get some deliverance, because it was something that if you've been taught something for 40 years, you're not going to automatically, for me, accept it. Now, mind you, I was in an abusive relationship before. So that piece was, I think for me, which was harder for me to accept it, because my previous husband wasn't faithful. So I looked at it as cheating, which is not. But because I had had that experience, I think that's why it took me a little bit longer to transition into accepting it.
So what was the biggest impact that straightway, positive, negative, had on your life since you've been a part of it?
The biggest impact for me is, like I said, when I first got into Christianity, I prayed for truth. And I finally have found truth. And I can go to bed at night and have shalom, because I know I am doing what the Father has commanded me to do. My goal is getting into the kingdom and pleasing the Father. And so now I know that righteousness is obeying his laws, statutes, and commandments. I know now that celebrating the feast days is what Yah commanded us to do. I now know that eating clean foods and living a modest, set-apart lifestyle is the way Yah has commanded us to do it. So I have peace in my heart because I'm doing what the Father has commanded me to do. And my goal is pleasing the Father.
Hallelujah. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Is there anything?
Pastor Dallas never one time said, "Hey man, I am Yah," or worship me like I'm Yah. You understand that? He's a man who's following the book, and he wants everybody else to be living by that same book.